A bit about the history of this case. Boeing makes the 787 Dreamliner. The orders for that product exceeded expectations, so Boeing had the great opportunity to create a second assembly line. During the negotiations with the Washington state, they negotiated with Washington, South Carolina, all over the nation, and Boeing made a decision in October 2009 to build the second assembly line in Charleston, South Carolina. In March 2010, the machinist unions filed a complaint with the NLRB saying this was retaliation against a union. Nothing could be further from the truth. The complaint is frivolous. Not one person has lost a job in the state of Washington. As a matter of fact, employment in Washington has increased by 2,000 workers as a result of the decision to build more planes in South Carolina. Not one benefit was reduced. So we're calling on the administration today in an appropriate way to weigh in. I know the administration cannot take sides, but they sure can speak up for Boeing and the business model Boeing has used. Thank God Boeing did not leave the United States. I can't think of a more damaging way to hurt job creation than for this complaint to be successful. They're asking to close the plant in South Carolina down after you spent $750 million. We dedicated the plant last Friday and move it back to Washington. If that ever became the policy in the United States, people wouldn't do business in the United States, they'd go overseas. Who wants to spend $750 million in one state to have an unelected bureaucracy shut you down and move you back to another state for no good reason? So at the end of the day, here's what I'd like to see the administration do. Stand behind Boeing in an appropriate way. One piece of the puzzle I've not told you about is that Bill Daley, the Chief of Staff of the President of the United States, was on Boeing's board in October when they voted unanimously to come to South Carolina. I do not believe the President chose Bill Daley in January of 2011 if he believed he had done something wrong. The CEO of Boeing was chosen by President Obama to lead his export council, the goal of which is to double export jobs in the next 5 years. Do you really believe he would have chosen the CEO of Boeing if the White House believed they had engaged in illegal conduct? And finally, the current nominee for Secretary of Commerce, chosen by the President, is a former member of the Boeing board. So now's the time for President Obama and the administration to step up and tell the country that they have faith in Boeing as a company, and these are good people who, in their view, have run an ethical company. This is a huge deal in South Carolina. As Lamar said, it's a huge deal throughout the country, and I can't think of a better way to continue high unemployment than to allow this complaint to go forward.